Good morning, students. Today in this video, we shall read about reported speech. Okay, so reported speech and indirect speech mean the same thing. You need to know how to write in reported speech when you write down or report what someone has said. So in this video, you will learn when to use reported speech, how to transform sentences from direct speech to reported speech, and from reported speech to direct speech. You will also learn how to use models in reported speech. You will learn the differences between say and tell, and you will look at how questions change in reported speech and learn the reference of time and place. So first up, what is reported speech? Okay, imagine the scene or picture where Vimla is talking to Sita. I am hungry. This is who Vimla actually said. This is called direct speech. Okay. Later, we want to report what Vimla said, either in writing or speaking. Vimla said she was hungry. This is indirect speech or reported speech. Okay. The two terms mean the same. This is the simplest of transformation. So when do we use reported speech? Often reported speech is used to summarize what someone says. It is used to communicate the message of what was actually said in more concise manner. It's not just a different way of transcribing what was actually said. So there are some rules which can help you in this process. If we go back to our example of Vimla and Sita talking, we notice that in direct speech, Vimla uses the present tense I am hungry. Okay, whereas in the reported speech, we changed that to Vimla said she was hungry. Present simple in direct speech goes to past simple in reported speech. I am hungry. She said she was hungry. Okay, what do I say? I said present simple in direct speech goes to past simple in reported speech or in direct speech. Okay, in indirect speech, I am hungry. She said she was hungry. Simply. Okay. Present continuous goes to past continuous. The sun is shining becomes he said the sun was shining. Notice the that in brackets means that it is optional. You can say he said that the sun was shining or he said the sun was shining. Past simple becomes past perfect. It was a great evening becomes she said it had been a great evening. Present perfect to past perfect. I haven't eaten chocolate for a week becomes she said she hadn't eaten chocolate for a week. And lastly, past perfect doesn't change and remains past perfect in reported speech. So, I hadn't expected a pay rise becomes she said she hadn't expected a pay rise. Now for modal verbs could, would, should, might, ought to and used to do not change when they are reported at a later time. So let's look at those that do change. Will converts to would. I will pass the exam becomes she said she would pass the exam. Notice also you need to change the pronouns, okay, when they are required. So here I changes to she. Can changes to could. I can swim becomes he said that he could swim. May becomes might. I may call Rita becomes she said she might call Sita. Must becomes had to. See the last one. Must becomes had to. I must do my homework becomes she said she had to do her homework. Again, notice the pronoun changing. Here we have my homework, which changes to her homework. However, we have to use must in reported speech for two situations. Number one, with a negative. So in direct speech, you say you mustn't, means must not, play computer games late at night. In reported speech, we say, she said, we must not play computer games late at night. So it says as must not and also for deductions. What is the meaning of deductions? Using the information available to make conclusion or to make a guess. Okay. So it says as mustn't and also for deductions, you must be very thirsty in this hot weather. See the sentence, you must be very thirsty in this hot weather. She said, we must be very thirsty in this hot weather. You can't use had to in this case. Understand? Now for the difference between, this was for the deduction. You must be very thirsty in this hot weather. See it again. I'm repeating it. What did I say? I said mustn't and also for deductions. You must be very thirsty in this hot weather will be converted. She said we must be very thirsty in this hot weather. Okay, so you can't use had to in this case. Now for the difference between say and tell. Basically, you say something but you tell somebody. He said he was going to join us, whereas told has to be followed by an object without to. So he told me that he was going to join us. However, you can say something to somebody. He said to me that he was going to join us. Okay. So, what about transformations of questions in direct speech? See the sentence in direct. See, you can see in the bracket direct speech. This is the sentence in direct speech. What time is it? In reported speech, he asked me what time it was. Okay. In direct speech, for questions, we inverse the subject. What is the meaning of inverse? Change in position. Okay. So what do we do? In indirect in direct speech, for questions, we inverse the subject and the verb, whereas in reported speech, we keep the order of statement and don't inverse the subject and the verb. If the question has a yes or no answer, then we use either if or whether. Okay. Would you like a coffee? This is a yes or no answer. She asked me if I would like a coffee, or she asked me whether I would like a coffee. Finally, with where the reported speech, references to time and place need to change unless we are speaking on the same day. So, yesterday changes to the day before, today to that day, tomorrow to the next or following day, next week to the following week, now to then. For places, here becomes there, and this becomes that. So let's try some transformations. The weatherman forecast that there would be sunshine all day. The given word is sunshine, okay, or shine. The weatherman said something all day. So this is transforming from reported speech to direct speech. The weatherman said the sun will shine all day. Would changes to will. Okay. Would changes to will. Next is last night I saw fantastic film, said Sita. The given word is previous. Sita told me that the previous night she had seen a fantastic film. The time reference changes from last night to the previous night, and the tense from the past simple to the past perfect. Next sentence is did you book a room with a balcony? I asked my mother. The given word is if. Given word here is if. I asked my mother if she had booked a room with a balcony. Here it is yes or no question. So we use if or whether in the answer. But here the given word is if. So we have to use if. And the verb changes from the past to the past perfect. Okay. So that's all about reported speech. So you must have understood reported speech and how to transform from reported speech to direct speech and vice versa in English. Thank you so much.